Hello, I'm EnterElysium, and welcome to another Let's Look at the latest pack for the New Frontiers Pass for Civilization 6, which you can get as part of the pass or as an individual DLC. This is a sponsored video. It's sponsored by 2K UK, and there will be a link down below if you do wish to go check out the New Frontiers Pass for Civilization 6, but we're getting right into it, and the latest pack is, of course, the Ethiopia pack, which, as you might expect, includes Ethiopia as a civilization, but it also includes a whole load of other stuff, including a new game mode called Secret Societies, where you have a load of secret societies that do stuff, and also includes a few new buildings, a new district, and 2 new personalities for existing civilizations, which are for America and for France. You get Theodore Roosevelt in Rough Rider mode, whose basic ability is replaced with a +5 combat strength on their home continent, and envoys sent to city-states that you have a trade route with counters 2 rather than 1. So basically a lot more diplomacy focused and a little bit of a military buff on home continent. Makes a lot of sense, kind of like it, but I really dig the France one, which is Catherine de Medici Magnificence mode, who for a start has this badass Venetian mess going on, but also the main ability is now replaced with improved luxury resources adjacent to a theatre square district or chateau, receive +2 culture, and she can do the court festival project, which generates tourism and culture, which is great. It really focuses France a lot more, makes them a lot more culture focused, which I really dig. I think that's a really good one. But we also get Ethiopia, who is a whole new civilization, who are led by Menelik II. Now, their ability basically revolves around 2 things: faith and hills. They really like faith, and they're very possessive of their hills. So the main ability is, if you make a trade route to an international place, you get faith, depending on the number of luxury resources, etc. But basically you get faith from your trade routes if they go to another civilization, which is pretty decent. They also get the Oromo, or Oromo, I don't know how you're going to pronounce that, cavalry, which entirely focuses around the fact that they don't take movement to go on hills and they have a better sightline. It's kind of fine, but my favorite part is their unique improvement, which I really like, is the rock-hewn church. Now, you can build this on any hill or on volcanic soil if you have the Gatherings Dome expansion, and what it does is it generates faith, quite a lot of faith. It generates 1 faith, presumably for the thing it's on, plus 1 for each surrounding tile with a mountain or a hill. And this is fantastic because, as you might expect, where you find 1 hill, you also tend to find other hills and mountains. And because of that, it's quite easy to just put down 1 upgrade on a tile and get 5 faith, which early in the game is quite a lot. So you can generate faith quite easily with this. I think it's a really good upgrade, and I really dig it. So that's a unique improvement, and it's pretty badass. Now, the downside is you can't build them next to each other, so you do have to space them out a little bit. But still, hills are good. Which brings us on to their main ability, Council of Ministers. You receive science and culture equal to 15% of your faith generation in cities founded on hills. That's a nice buff. Hills. They really like their hills. They also get +4 combat strength for their units on hills. There's a theme here. Also, if you wonder about their agenda, what the AI is going to do with them, they prefer building cities on hills. They like civilizations who don't settle on hills, and they dislike civilizations who settle on hills because they're very possessive over the high ground. Now, there's also a new district and a couple of new buildings with this DLC. The new district is the diplomatic quarters, which generates culture for each delegation or embassy from a foreign civilization, and also does +1 envoy if built next to your city center, and enemy spies operate 2 levels below normal, targeting districts and adjacent districts. So it provides a little bit of protection and also gives you a little bit more culture. The 2 buildings are the Consulate and the Chancery. Both kind of affect your influence points. The Chancery gives you +3, the Consulate +2, and the Chancery, when civilization captures or kills an enemy spy, you receive science based on the level of that spy, but the Consulate manages to reduce enemy spy levels by 1 when targeting the city or cities with encampments. So gives you a little bit of protection there. Now, the best part of the DLC for me is the new game mode Secret Societies, which includes 4 secret societies who your civilization can join. The way this works is you discover them either by raiding a barbarian camp, finding them in a tribal village, getting them from a city-state, or finding a natural wonder, and I guess there's like someone there saying, join the Elves of Minerva. You can also get them diplomatically by getting a high enough diplomatic relation with other players who have discovered them, but you can get them early on in the game just by wandering around the world, doing a raid on a barbarian camp or a tribal village. The way that works is that once you've discovered a secret society, you will have the ability to unlock a governor. So a governor will appear in your governor panel, and you can invest into them as you would a normal governor, and that will upgrade your rank in that secret society. Now, it's possible to discover multiple secret societies, but as soon as you invest in one, you are locked into that one for the rest of the game. You can't switch secret societies, and once you join one, the others will become locked off to you, because there's a really strong rivalry between them. They're a bit like frat houses. In fact, if you join a secret society, the people in the same secret society will generate alliance points much more quickly with you, and everyone in all the other secret societies will very much dislike you and probably denounce you. But once you start actually investing in one, what happens is that per age you can invest once into a secret society, and then you will keep unlocking new bonuses. They're actually pretty damn strong, and I really dig the game mode because while they're strong, they're not overpoweringly so, but they are really pretty good. The 4 secret societies are the Owls of Minerva, the Hermetic Order, the Void Singers, and the Sanguine Pact. The Owls of Minerva you can find out by sending an envoy to a city-state, and they're focused around trade and diplomacy. The Hermetic Order you discover by going to a natural wonder, and they focus around these special tiles on the map called ley lines, which give you adjacency to your specialty districts, which is really good, and also being able to do stuff with great person points, which is pretty beneficial. The Void Singers are discovered by investigating tribal villages. The idea behind them is that they're very faith-based, almost Cthulhu-esque cult, and how that works is that you can create the Old Gods obelisk, which replaces the monument, which also provides faith and a great work slot. And then later on, you can do more stuff like purchasing the cultist unit of faith, and even doing a project called Dark Summoning, which generates a whole load of faith and makes people super loyal. The fourth and the final one, the Sanguine Pact, is probably the most out there and actually interesting of them. As you might guess, it's about vampires. So, when you actually discover it and then unlock it, you get a vampire unit. Now, this vampire unit gets stronger the more units it kills in combat, and if it's ever actually defeated, it doesn't die, it just goes back to your capital at 1 HP and has to regenerate. Later on, you can actually unlock vampire castles, which you can build as an improvement, and even at the final level, you can then airlift to and from vampire castles, which presumably means that your tanks are getting picked up by vampires and flown other places in the world, which is an interesting image in my head to say the least. That's it for most of the Ethiopia pack. It's quite jam-packed, and I really dig the new game mode. That's pretty badass. Ethiopia themselves are also pretty powerful if you want to go for that faith-based win. They do have a little bit of a culture edge to them, but they're pretty focused on faith and hills. They really have a thing for hills. I've been EnterElysium. Hopefully you've enjoyed this quick look at the new pack, the Ethiopia pack for the new Frontiers Pass of Civilization 6. As a sponsor video, there will be a link down below in the description if you do want to go check that out, and that will take you through to the new Frontiers pack, which you can go check out now. Until next time, stay shiny.